The hand of God. It is both stars and clouds, and right within its grasp is a red, fiery hot constellation of stars and gas and clouds. Unbelievably, we have recently discovered this constellation, and it is so far away from Earth that it is impossible for prehistoric man to have ever seen it. Ever to have seen it without this. This image is only visible to us via the very powerful Hubble telescope. How is this possible? How can this be? This is the singularity of enlightenment, and this is where we begin to accept the impossible, the unbelievable, and ultimately the inevitable. Paleolithic, Cro-Magnon, Neanderthal, ape-man, and caveman. And yet 40,000 years ago, they saw the same star constellations we see today. They saw the same star patterns we see. And they named them after the exact same animals that we named them after today. And now they see the hand of God, a sight impossible to see without evolution and a very high technology. More importantly, it is the same sight we see today, and yet 40,000 years ago, this technological race of superhumans were wiped out. At the understanding of this knowledge, many of us will retreat and succumb to a disease known as cognitive dissonance. Its symptoms appear when faced with a knowledge that is so intense and so overpowering to the mind that the brain will suddenly retreat into a previous and happier cognitive disposition. A time that existed right before the moment where you understood it. You will say, they are no different from any other ancient culture we've ever seen. And you will say to yourself, this couldn't possibly be true. All who feel this way will be utterly broken. For what comes next is the end of every intelligent doubter in the world. Because what comes next will completely stun the brain into paralysis. The cave paintings not only show that prehistoric man could see deep into space, it also shows something else even more unbelievable. These paintings show that they could also see the Earth from space. A highly intelligent being will function on multiple levels of intelligence, and thus one message sent will be built upon several hidden messages, which to the uninitiated will appear to be one innocuous, benign painting of a farm animal. Nevertheless, a close inspection of each painting will reveal several messages layered within each color of paint. We see Taurus the bull, and we know it is a star constellation. But laying all across each star constellation are splashes of yellow and golden paint. Look again. Closer. Closer. These are not splashes of artistic styling, and to the contrary, these are actually land formations, pieces of our Earth as it looks from space, continents, countries, city-states, and favored lands. How we know this is by the uniformity of its presence in each painting around the world, and what reveals its code is found here. Consider this painting You see the land mass beneath the constellation of stars. Look closer. This is a twig or blade of grass. Notice its color and its uniformity in relation to land and earthbound animals, as opposed to starlight animals. It matches the exact color of land in every single cave painting around the world. This is the color of the cave painting. This is actually a satellite image of our world. Notice the color is an exact match. And land in every cave painting is the exact same color as our satellite imagery. The stonework of our dull-witted, unevolved forerunner to our current perfection of evolution reveals not that they were ignorant, but instead, we are. 35,000 years ago, Cro-Magnon man created a crude painting in rock that is seen as a futile attempt at artwork. We now know that these highly intelligent human beings were sending us an encrypted message that we would only understand on the day that we would evolve. Look closer. Closer. This is a view of the world from above. Notice how small man is in each of these cave paintings. In order for man to be seen this way, it must be from a very, very high vantage point. They are showing us the way our land looks from above. And although our intelligence tells us that this is just a painting, look very closely. Notice that all the animals seen seem to have white spots underneath or splashes of white near or around them. When you understand why, you will know it's over. You see these juvenile cave paintings of animals and then quickly dismiss them as the markings of our uninteresting progenitors. But wait, look closely. Although it is as boring as the others, this painting reveals our connection to our distant relative, and it proves what is impossible. This is not a cave painting. Although it is identical to all cave paintings around the world, its revelation is found in understanding why it's exactly like all the others. It's exactly like all the other cave paintings because these are actually satellite images taken from space, and the specks of white are actually the animals themselves. They're found in every single cave painting, and we always wonder why there's splashes of white. The white is actually the animal. The black image, which we believe to be the painting, is merely a shadow created by the sun. It is identical to images painted in caves, and this is how and why they painted such boring images, because they knew one day we would understand. The cave painter was not painting what he saw of his daily life. He was painting several satellite images, and they were painting them all over the world for one reason and one reason only. They were painting them for us. Each painting screams from deep into the cave, and it says, listen to us, and know that we were here, and we were just like you. Please, hear us. Please, understand. We must understand them, because these satellite images are tomorrow's cave paintings. They carefully chose caves for their clandestine messages because the cave simulates that which cannot be captured on film: depth and terrain.